Hi, welcome back to Killer Film Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing the sister show to The Simpsons, Futurama! So, let's get into our characters first here. So you have our main character of Fry, a 20th century normal human being, average male, college age, ends up in the future, the year 3000. Then you have Bender, the robot. He is basically the comedic relief, and he has his signature catchphrases like, Bender, Bender, let's go already! Bite my shiny metal ass! You'll really know who Bender is when you watch the series. He's like a 30th century robot that bends metal. Then you have Turanga Leela, played by the talented Katie Segal. Turanga Leela is a mutant. She's got the eye in her forehead there, and she's like what you'd want to see in a female protagonist. She's strong-willed. She gets the job done, and she doesn't mess around. Then you got Professor Barnsworth. Fry's great, so many greats I can't even count them all, grand nephew basically, and he's just always saying, good news everyone, and he's always doing his little stuff there. He sort of kind of lays out at the start of most episodes where they're going to be going on a delivery, all that sort of thing. Then you get into Hermes Conrad, the limbo. He's a bureaucrat that likes to do the limbo, and he's kind of has some smart, witty humor like the professor does a little bit in there. And then you have Zoidberg. Zoidberg's basically he's also a little bit in their comedies. He's an alien crab essentially. Likes to do his little crab walk, and he's kind of a little crazy. In a sense, he kind of just doesn't get what's going on sometimes. Sometimes he completely forgets what's going on. It's hilarious. Lives in like a dumpster and whatnot. And you have Amy Wong. Amy Wong's basically like this rich Martian kid that's the professor's assistant. She's trying to get her doctorate and whatnot. And she's kind of a little bit of a player in a sense, I guess. Then you got then you got this other side character you'll see in the background sometimes. Scruffy, he's like the janitor. So he's just kind of pretending that he doesn't know what's going on. Sometimes he kind of just doesn't care. He's in the background, so that covers your main base for the main. But your main protagonists are Fry, Leela, and Bender in most episodes. Usually those three will be bouncing off each other. Sometimes Amy will join them in a couple episodes, sometimes not. Same with the professor and the same with Hermes. They kind of all bounce off each other. But as we get into more of our expanded cast here, you got you got La Barbara, and that's Hermes Conrad's wife. She's in there. You got Leela's mother and father. You got Commander Zap Brannigan. He's kind of like your cocky space pilot kind of a type of character. He's really kind of dumb in the decisions he makes, but you get mad at him at first, and then you'll realize that it was funny after you rewatch the episodes. You know, it's just kind of silly. As for and then he has Kif. Kif is also Amy Wong's love interest in this series. Just kind of a little timid guy, more of a beta male in a sense. He really just doesn't say anything when Amy goes and runs off and is with other guys. It's kind of hilarious. And then Zap Brannigan, of course, the commander. He's kind of running around and making all these silly advances on Leela, which is kind of hilarious. And now let's get into more of our general plot. So the general plot of most of the episodes is the team will go out on a delivery. It'll be usually Fry, Bender, and Leela. They'll go out on a delivery. Sometimes they're joined by Amy and Hermes Conrad, but most of the time it's usually Amy. And they'll try to deliver packages to different worlds for some episodes. Other episodes will stay closer to home, pretty much. So it kind of just varies from episode to episode, if you get what I mean. Some of the more notable... So when we think about our villains, right? Our villains are going to be more focused on the Mom Monsanto Corporation. She's kind of past love interest of Professor Farnsworth, because Professor Farnsworth used to work with her like 50 years ago before the main plot of the show starts in the year 3000. So that's another interesting thing to note. As for how the first episode kind of goes, in a sense, is that it's the year 1999, and he has to, and it basically shows you Fry's family and his crappy job as a pizza delivery person or whatever. And no disrespect to pizza delivery drivers. I really appreciate the work they do, and I always make sure I tip them 20%. So I'll throw that out. So Fry is basically trying to get he basically goes to Panucci's Pizza. That's kind of where he's working. Picks up the pizza, then he ends up going into the cryogenic chamber after they do the countdown for the new year of 2000, because that's where we essentially start. The whole first kind of season kind of goes into some moon deliveries and various other hijinks. You'll notice that the character Bender, his voice changes from season 1 to season 2. But this video is more focused on my general impressions of the series as a whole. I'll kind of get into more season specific stuff kind of later down the line in future videos. I'm just kind of laying the groundwork in this. So my favorite parts of the series is the episodes where they kind of go and do some time travel hijinks. There's this episode which is pretty fresh in my mind because I just watched through it like a day or two ago. Bender's Big Score. Bender basically gets hypnotized by a bunch of scam artists or whatever, and they basically tell him to go after Fry because Fry goes back to the past and whatnot, and they kind of try to go at it against each other while you have the plot in the future and the past going at the same time. It's a very, very funny series of episodes. It was originally a movie. You have a couple other direct to video releases there. Futurama has a troubled history behind it. Fox executives didn't really have the highest praises for the show, according to the series creator Matt Groening. Essentially, they ended up canceling the show after around 3 seasons, I believe. Then it went to Comedy Central. Comedy Central booked a couple more seasons. I believe it went like this: 3 seasons on Fox, first cancellation, 3 more seasons, 2 more seasons on Fox, and then some direct-to-video releases. And then it gets sold to Comedy Central, and then Comedy Central kind of takes over and does their own thing, pretty much. And the series ends up running from around the year 2000, I believe, to the year of 2013. Around there, it stops. So every season kind of reflects the events of the year that they're on. So if it says like 3002, it's obviously reflecting the year 2002. So that's something to pay attention to in the series. So I just want to talk about my favorite moments from the series now. My favorite moments are when Bender always just seems to throw shade at Fry, like all the time. Like one episode in particular that stands out to me is there's this Oktober Fest. This is later down the line, like season 7, I want to say, where they basically are trying to celebrate Oktoberfest, but everything's kind of like Victorian style. It's all mighty and proper. It's not really Oktoberfest as we know it in the 21st century. It's kind of just more formal. It's like you're going to a wine tasting rather than being the actual Oktoberfest. And then they basically kick off into a bunch of hijinks with each other, with Fry running into Neanderthals versus modern technology. It's a very funny episode. And then another episode, basically, they kind of recreate. You basically got these two satellites that kind of smash together. Pretty much, if you can think of the V chip from the 60s or 70s, I want to say, where they put that in to kind of moderate what content kids could watch on the television. It's sort of that thing. Kind of takes some themes from Adam and Eve's origin story in the Bible. So that's another interesting one in my opinion here. So still recovering here. So as for other funny moments, I found that the relationship between Fry and Leela was one of the high points of the series, because they kind of go on again, off again, in a sense. Some moments it seems like they're gonna get together, and other moments they don't get together. That's a strong theme running throughout. It reminds me of another episode where basically Fry ends up going in a time forward machine in a later season of the show, and basically he's always running late for stuff because Bender's up to hijinks with women, robot women, and basically that's what caused him to be late. End up going to the future, end up seeing a bunch of stuff, and I'm not gonna tell you how that episode ends because I don't want it spoiled. Because each episode typically runs around, I want to say 22 minutes most of the time. So let's kind of focus on what I think the strong points are. The strong points of the series is that it covers different events that took place in early 2000s in the future. Pretty much parodies them in a sense. It, of course, heavily focuses on the comedic relief aspect of things. It's more of a comedy, more of an animated comedy in a sense. Animated comedy where they go hop around the universe and they kind of try to do deliveries here and there. There's a bunch of good to be seen in this show. I think that anybody can pick it up that's like 16 and older. I think you would really just enjoy it. As to why you should watch it, I find it to be very funny, very relevant, even now, because you're seeing some of the stuff they had on that show come to fruition now. You'll kind of know that if you watch the series a bit. And it's another series that's created by Matt Groening. Like, if you ever wanted an adult version of The Simpsons, like set in a sci-fi-esque sort of series, this is your series. I had so many fun times in college where I would just watch this with my friends and we'd all be laughing. If it wasn't Futurama, then it was Gotham. Or another movie. You just have so many high points in this series. Alright, let's talk about where you can find the series. And you can find the series on Hulu. Hulu is your best point of access if you're in the United States. You can watch all the seasons on there on Hulu. As for outside the US, I believe it's a service called Disney Star where it combines Hulu and Disney. You can access it on that. Or I suppose if you have like something like a VPN, you can get around it too. Like, what's it called? You always see YouTubers throw this in the videos. I'm not sponsored by NordVPN, but obviously NordVPN, you can sit there and get around there and get around the region lock, I believe, and you can watch it straight on Disney Plus if you change the region. And thinking about it, the YouTuber that had the best deal on that was PewDiePie, so just go to one of his videos. He should have a link in the description for that. Maybe I'll partner up with them in the future, who knows. So as for Apple, I know on Apple specifically, you can only access the first 3 seasons, I believe, that you can buy them direct. I don't think you can access them on Apple TV. I don't think you can watch them on Apple TV, but I just feel that this series does not get enough attention as it is. I feel like the whole series as a whole needs to be revived. It needs to be revived for the year of 2020. Like, start in 2020, then go to 2021, because there's so much stuff that happened in 2020 that I would love to see in a Futurama episode or podcast form. Doesn't matter. So, if you're into a sci-fi adult comedy, this is your show. This is your show. I know the animation may look a little dated to some, but it is worth it. You start from season 1 and you watch it all the way through. That's how it's best watched. Don't go skipping around season to season. It's not gonna help you appreciate the series. You need to watch it in order from start to finish. Season 1 to, I believe, it's either season 8 or season 9 where it ends. I believe it's season 8. Depends on which platform you're watching it from, essentially. But yeah, so I just want to conclude by saying I appreciate those who took the time to watch this video. This isn't the only kind of content I do. There's 4 other channels besides this one with different focuses on World of Warships, Forza Horizon, Call of Duty Zombies, even Minecraft. I'd appreciate if you give them a look. Tell me what you think about them. They're all under the My Channels tab. So if you go on to your YouTube browser, I believe they should be listed under the home page for this channel. If not, it should be on the channel section on your mobile desktop. So it'll take some time to go check those out. And as always, don't forget to like, watch, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps things out, helps smooth things along. I'm making investments in the channel every day, such as getting music produced that you heard at the start of this video and that you're going to be hearing about at the end of the video here. I take time to just really refine my content, and I hope that's reason enough for you to consider subscribing, because I'd love to have you. Love to have you on here. I'd love to hear your ideas on what you think we should do next for a TV review or a film review. So until next time, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.